Greetings and salutations. My name is JJ Weinberg, and we're going to talk about my Happy Little Hairdos collection, 10,000 unique NFTs inspired by the man we all know as a painter with a fro. Now, for me, this began back in, actually probably when I was 9 or 10 years old, when I first tried to paint along with Bob Ross on one of his instructional PBS shows. But fast forward to 2014, and I did this illustration that you see here next to me. It's a parody. Obviously, his afro is larger than life, both in the image and in our minds. And I wanted to do a coffee table art book called Happy Little Hairdos. So here's a mock-up of the Happy Little Hairdos coffee table book, right? And in the book, I was going to take the illustration that you see here, use the same face, and then just change the hairstyles and parody through different pop culture references, kind of challenge what's identity mean when it's like we know this guy because of his fro, but if he didn't have his fro, would he be as recognizable? The colored pencil you see down there is actually framed with this piece as the colored pencil that I used to draw a lot of it, and I know that's the exact colored pencil because if you look at the back of it right there, that Scotch tape, the barrel, if you see the colored pencil, was shooting out the back. When I'd press down, it kept popping out the back. So I put that piece of Scotch tape on there to keep it from popping out. I don't know why it kept sliding out of the wood. But anyway, this is part of the whole story and the whole legend for me, that this existed before NFTs and the blockchain experience that we're all, loving and exploring through right now, and how it's empowering artists. I get the humble responsibility to bring Bob's legacy on the blockchain, especially if you've not seen it on Netflix. There's a documentary out right now called Happy Accidents, Betrayal and Greed, and it's all about how his ex-business partners really kind of took him and his family to the cleaners. I have aspects of this that I want to try and give back to the family if Steve will accept it. That's a whole nother story, but this piece right here, I'm actually going to mint this as a one-of-one NFT when the project completes, and this framed piece is going to go to one of the Happy Little Hairdos owners. So when you own a Happy Little Hairdo, you're going to have your identifier. It's going to say your hashtag and then the numbers of whatever token that you hold. Well, if you happen to hold the token that gets selected at the end of this project, I'm going to randomly select one of the token numbers, and that person's going to win that one-of-one Happy Little Hairdo physical, the original piece. This right here that you see is actually an infinite Bobject. This is also part of the project. The curated cuts are all the ones that I designed from scratch. So this is a Macho Man Bobby Savage. If we talked about this token, you'd see the gold background signifies that I made this one from hand. It's not generated at all. And these attribute traits, you'll see them listed here. So he's got the Bobby Savage orange bandana, the Bobby Savage iconic lavender tee, the Bobby Savage signature shades purple, a one-of-one creamer of the crop. So if you know anything about Macho Man Randy Savage, this is a legendary promo that he cut. And this creamer it only appears on one token in the whole collection, this exact one. Now, I actually know what number this is now because I've minted it to myself, because this is actually part of a giveaway. If you go on J.Got.Game, J-A-Y Got Game on Twitter, and you tag a couple artists that you think can use some exposure, it's a whole tweet thing that I've been doing. It's part of a giveaway. I'm giving away this exact token, the Macho Man Bobby Savage curated cut, and you're also going to get it in an infinite Bobject, just like this. I still have to order it. There's a couple things I want to do to make sure I get everything right. But the curated cuts are all going to go in the coffee table book, Volume 1. If you notice, this is Happy Little Hairdos Volume 1. So they're all going to go in Volume 1 of the coffee table book. They're going to show their numbers, and they're also going to have their QR code. So what's crazy about that is if we look at this one, I want to look at this one token in particular. You saw those rarity traits. We're going to be on rarity tools when we complete the project, and I have specifically looked at, well, these are the things that should be worth more, these should show up less, and so we've got that, the percentages that things should show up programmed. Let me state this real quick also. This is a project that is such a passion of mine. I did all of the art, it's all hand drawn. Whether it was, this Make America Paint Again hat I actually did in 2014 when I first started this project. It was one of the first things, or no, it was 2015, whatever. It was somewhere in that area, but this is one of the first pieces that I did, and I did it in Photoshop right here in this program. I used my pen and my Wacom tablet and went to work on it. But all of these traits I hand drew painstakingly. You'll see as we detail through this one token. But the marketing, the branding, the logo design, the happy little hairdos, the Fromo t-shirts, this is all me. We're kind of a two-man band. I have Chuck, but Chuck's like the drummer. He sits in the back, nobody sees him. Although he is getting a happy little hairdo tattoo right now. Oh, snap. Can't wait to show that off. He just sent me a text. He's probably going to have it done and posted before I actually post this video. But we're like a two-man band. Chuck did the code, and so we don't have a team. There's nothing fake here. This is all being built from the ground up. We did a pre-sale of 100, the Fromo 100, which you see down here in the corner of this particular happy little hairdo. And we're launching on October 29th, happylittlehairdos.com. It's 0.1 ETH. When we wrote the contract, when we first started doing this, ETH was at $1,800 and gas was like $20 a transaction. Now we know that we're like around $3,700, $3,800 and gas is crazy. So just to give you an idea about how long we've been working on this, it's been since early June, and but being just two people, that's tough. So really what I'm saying is this can be a little bit of a longer video, but if you're watching through it and you got to this point, I can't tell you how much I appreciate the retweets and the shares and getting this out there, because I know that this project is going to be a legacy project. I'm going to keep doing these coffee table books, volume 2, volume 3, and you're going to see how that extends and adds value to the people that are in the 10,000 collection early on. And when people start coming into NFTs from out of nowhere, as that we know that's going to continue to happen, one of the first things that they're going to do is they're going to look around for things that they recognize. And, everybody recognizes Bob. And so there's something just obviously endearing and eternal about Bob's legacy. And I hope as an artist, I'm adding to that with this parody collection, right? So if you do see this, share it. Again, we rely on your support big time, and hope you will become a part of the Happy Little Hairdo crew. Again, even if it doesn't mean buying a happy little hairdo on October 29th, minting one then, just sharing and liking and commenting, because a lot of times I give out t-shirts. I've sent t-shirts from here to India, Canada, Texas, all over the place in the United States, Florida, California, Ohio. We're sending stuff everywhere, stickers, t-shirts. So it's like, well, I am sending those things everywhere. But the people who've been a part of the Happy Little Hairdo crew, especially the Fromo 100, that's how I was able to get the resources to go out and get those shirts right away and get stuff made and really make sure that the community knows that I'm here to always kind of give back. So let's look at this token real quick. This is from the Fromo 100. I'm going to turn on a couple things here. You might not even see this one unless you really are watching. But if you're looking at the token here, you're going to see that little square. That little square that just popped up is actually the resolution of a CryptoPunk, 24 by 24 pixels. Barely a glimmer in Bob's eye, just a little tiny reflection. Actually, there is a trait that kind of references that in the collection as well. If I click on this layer here, this little box represents a Bored Ape resolution, right? 600 by 600 pixels. So it's like if I zoom in down here, you can see that, you can see that the head of this would be about probably this whole watermark stamp is bigger than a Bored Ape's head probably. So the reason why that matters is this is, again, one of the things that separates this from other collections. These are all hand-drawn assets at 3,000 by 3,000 pixels. The point of that being that, again, these need to print at scale for the coffee table book. And I want people that own them to print them out and have fun and, maybe hang them up in their homes or whatever. So if we go in, these are all hand drawn meticulously, and you can see as we zoom around like how the fidelity is. And part of that is, like, if you look at the stripes right here on the eyes where I cut out for the vanilla ice kind of brow, I had to make sure that it matched with the colored pencil drawing that I did, that it didn't, like, it wasn't too awkward, and everything fit well. So all the layers I hand drew. There are over 300 unique assets, and I think I may have mentioned it before, but we're going to do rarity tools. But one of the things about this project that is way different than a lot of other things that you're going to see in the generative space is the story. Like, there's so many stories I'm trying to tell, and they're going to continue to develop and evolve. But even just the placement of certain tokens is something, and like the numbers. So for instance, this isn't a curated cut in the sense that I drew it from scratch for this particular piece. I used elements that I drew of different places to put this one together, though, on purpose, because I wanted this Make America Paint Again token to be token number 45 as part of another parody, as part of another little joke, tongue-in-cheek type of thing. And so while the rarity tools is going to be able to measure the unique rarity of the platinum grill, the diamond studded earrings, the nose ring, the knocked out eyebrow, the hat, and the jacket, and the background. The backgrounds even are actually named after Bob's palette colors too. So that's, again, where I'm saying this story really matters to me with this project. Token number 45, you can measure all the rarity, which there's a lot of rarity in this because of the amount of features it has and the rarity of, like, some of the unique features that it has. But what can't be measured by rarity tools is the notion that this is token number 45, and that's part of the joke, that's part of the gag, that's part of the story I'm trying to tell. And I do that with other tokens, whether it's somebody's birthday or, numbers that are important to me for one reason or another. But this token right here, what I want to really show that's exciting is this one's going to go in the coffee table book, because I want it to be in there for the story that I'm telling right now. But the coffee table book is going to have all of the curated cuts with the gold backgrounds. But it's also going to have, I don't want to show that just yet. It's also going to have tokens like this one that are either randomly drawn out of the collection or ones that I select on purpose. Some of them will be randomly drawn. And the concept is, I'm going to draw this out here real quick on my on this Photoshop here. So let's just say here's the coffee table book, right? And you open it up, and this token is right here. So you got the hat, the Make America Paint Again. This token is here. Now on the other side, you're going to see similar to the infinite Bobject. We can see it'll have the number of what token it is in the collection. It'll have the HLHD marker too. That's what our, for happy little hairdos. It'll have that, and it's going to have the list of all these traits that are on it, and also this QR code. So you're in the book over here. You see this. Someone goes to Barnes & Noble. They pick up Happy Little Hairdos because they recognize, oh, that's Bob Ross, Happy Little Hairdos. This is funny. What is this? I'm going to look at it because it's a parody book and it's funny. And I start leafing through, and then they turn to where they see this token 45. Now they see all of those features. They see the number of the thing. So it's a 00. This one would be 0004, I think 6 or something, because of the way. Well, no, it's still listed at 45. So it's 000045. I hope. Otherwise, I'm totally messed up on this. Yeah. So there we go. HLHD 00045. That's what they're going to see right here when they look at this in the book. And they're going to see all those features, and then they're going to see this QR code, and they're going to say, now, if they don't know anything about this project, they don't know anything about NFTs even, they may be like, what is this? What does all of this stuff mean, if they don't read the forward in the book and everything? Then they scan this QR code, right? And it automatically takes them right to Happy Little Hairdo 0.000045. So what's that mean? That's volume 1. In volume 2, what I'm going to do is every year I'm going to do at least 24 curated cuts that will go into a separate collection. That'll be just one of ones that people can buy straight from me as the artist in those collections. But then I'm also going to go back to fill out the rest of the book. I'm going to go back to the 10,000 from the source, from the very beginning for volume 2, and pull out another 50 to 100 tokens that I feature in the book. And some of them will be random, just completely random. So you might have a token that doesn't have a lot of rarity on it, but all of a sudden it winds up in volume 2 or volume 3 of the Happy Little Hairdos book. And this, at this point, we're 3 years into NFTs. People are now knowing about this, but they can't get in. They can't get into the original 10,000 collection because it's closed, it's over. But they see this Happy Little Hairdos book. The only way that they can get in is when they scan that QR code and they come right to this actual piece, which is yours. So rarity tools won't be able to measure that. That's another thing that the legacy and the ideas and the imagination behind this project, we're just blazing ground. We're going to be trailblazers. However, I see Lou Harms right here has this token and has it listed for 2.5 ETH. I'm telling you, Lou, you might want to bump that price up, or somebody might want to snatch it from Lou right now for 2.5 ETH, because I'm telling you, this is going to be one of the legacy tokens. I'm giving you this description. This alone, the Fromo 100, once this project takes off, I have no doubt that this project is going to be a part of a legacy. Not just for me, for the blockchain itself, the way that it adds to Bob's legacy and the accessibility of Bob, both as a meme and as a spiritual guide that he is. We're going to blow the doors off of this. This token, Lou, I'm just telling you, you might want to bump up the price. If you see this video, or if somebody else sees this video, might want to go snatch it from Lou at a discount right now, because it's going to be something crazy. So October 29th, it's Bob's birthday. That's when we're launching the rest of this project. It's 0.1 ETH. Yes, the gas is crazy. I'm sorry. It was 0.1 ETH when it was $1,800 an Ethereum token, and gas was like 20 bucks to mint something. I apologize for that part, but this is going to be a legacy project for me. It's something I'm going to continue to do as an artist and continue to push. And it's Bob. Everybody loves Bob, right? And you're going to love the characters. You're going to see the Steve Bobs token, which is a Steve Jobs parody. The curated cuts, I want to say one last thing. The curated cuts, like the Macho Man Bobby Savage, they're all going to come, if we complete this project to the end, all of the people who get a curated cut are going to get an infinite Bobject just like this. All of the people who get a curated cut are also going to get a copy of the coffee table book that I signed personally. Now, the curated cuts, this one somebody's going to win just from a retweet. And this is a pretty massive thing. That's why I haven't given it away yet. There's some other things that are supposed to trigger that may or may not trigger, but I'm going to do it. We're going to give it away here within the next 2 to 3 weeks probably. So retweet this, tag some artist friends and some people that you want to see this. But the rest of the curated cuts, unless there's some that I have programmed for charities that I'm giving away, or then I'm going to sell and then give the proceeds to charity. So I have one of Mr. Rogers, and it's basically Bob Ross as Mr. Rogers, two people that pretty much made PBS and really made a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of people in PBS that just contributed to, our culture and moving forward. And so I want that token, when it sells, I want to give the proceeds to PBS directly, right? So there are a few that I already have minted into my own personal wallet. I'm not keeping them for myself. I'm keeping them so when I sell them, I can give the proceeds to the charities that they go to. But the rest of the curated cuts in the collection, if they aren't, specific gifts already or for the charity, they're just going to be, they're seeded throughout the collection. So when you do 0.1, you might get a random one with a lot of rarity on it, or you might even get a curated cut. as you mint through. So they're spread throughout the entire 10,000 collection, but you never know what you're going to mint. I don't have a Forrest Gump one. Forrest goes, you never know what you're going to mint. Forrest goes in volume 2. You heard it here first. I can't believe it just hit me that you never know what you're going to mint. God, I should put Forrest in this one. If I did, his features won't be in the collection. Well, his features aren't going to be in the random collection anyway, because there's only one 10,000 random collection right now. So maybe I'll try and get a Forrest squeezed in here before October 29th, because you never know what you're going to mint. HappyLittleHairdos.com. Thanks again. All the Twitter, at JGotGame is my personal. At Happy Little Hair is the Happy Little Hairdos Twitter. If you go on Instagram, it's at Happy Little Hairdos, 10, HAIRDOS. And my personal is JJ Weinberg on Instagram. So you can see some of my other artwork. It's mainly overwhelmed by Happy Little Hairdos stuff right now, as you can imagine. But the website, happylittlehairdos.com, I did entirely myself. I'm the web designer. I'm the logo designer. So when you see the Happy Little Hairdos logo, which actually, this is super fun too. If you didn't notice it, I'm looking at this. Oh, it's not even all the way on the screen. Hold on. Can I pull that over? There we go. So if you look at the Happy Little Hairdos logo, it doesn't do it when I go. But right here, the little tree, you've got the happy little tree. And then what the circle is representing is, I think it's obvious that it's the fro, which is funny, but it's also like the sun coming up behind the tree, which is what I want to like. There's this notion that the sun is just completely symmetrically lined up with the tree. So as a design itself, I tried to make sure and seed in certain aspects of happiness. So the Happy Little Tree, Happy Little Hairdo logo is something I did as well. So your support, your sharing, your retweeting, your commenting, your making sure that this gets to other people is priceless to us. And when I say us, I mean myself. I mean Chuck, because I want to make sure he gets rewarded for helping me with all the coding stuff that he's done. And, of course, to the people in the Happy Little Hairdo crew, because that's how these tokens are going to be worth what I know they should be worth for all the people. That's going to help make other people money and make other people like have life-changing moments, like whoever buys Lou Harms at 2.5 now and then sells it for 50 ETH later, because Lou, you should have that up a little bit higher. That's going to be something. I really genuinely, in my heart of hearts, believe it. I wouldn't have sat on this project from 2014 into 2021 if there wasn't something divine, something providential, something serendipitous. I call myself a wizard of intentional serendipity, and that's what this project is just another reflection of for me. So I know it's 23 minutes long. If you watched this far, send me a DM. You might get a t-shirt because this is a long video. But that's my piece. Peace.